Hello everyone, this is Sadie Creating the Heart, and today I'm going to be sharing my projects for the Not Too Shabby Shop Valentine's Day Hop. This is a hop for past and present members of the Not Too Shabby Shop. I'm going to be using Lattes of Love from the Not Too Shabby Shop, as well as XO and Pugs and Kisses, which are part of the recent release. And I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of a Copic coloring video. So I'm going to be actually starting off with this cute little pug in a mug, and I'm going to be using 3 reds to start off with, which is R29, R27, and R24. I usually like to start with my dark color first, and then my middle and my lightest color at the end. So I'm starting off with my hearts, and I'm just kind of outlining them, and the hearts in the mug, I'm just kind of doing 1/2 of that heart, and I'll blend it out with a lighter color. And there isn't, I mean, these are very small little images, and so for the heart, I'm just going to finish it off, the small hearts on the mug, I'm finishing it off with just the R24, and I'm going to go ahead and finish that. And then for my pink heart, I'm using R85 and R83 and R81. Those are my favorite pink combination. I'm going to just outline it, bring in a little bit of the mid-tone, and then my lightest color to kind of blend it all out. For my my mug, I'm going to be using some gray, so I'm going to use C5, C3, and C1. So I just do a little bit around the edges of the mug, and you can see that I'm just going to do some of this darker color all around the mug and around the handle. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my C3 and I'm going to go over that, and I'm going to bring it a little bit more in, but I'm going to make sure that I leave some space to blend it all out with my lightest color, which will be the C1. Now everybody has their own method for coloring with Copic. Some people are just artists and they do amazing things. I'm just a regular Joe. I've taken some Copic classes, but this is just kind of methods that I have developed for me to color quickly and get a good result. So I know that Jen Shirkus, for example, from Lawn Fawn, she usually just blends out with 2 colors. And so you definitely could do 2 colors and really get a very nice look. And I'm just kind of pulling in the color with my lightest color. For my pug, I'm just going to go into those colors. It's going to be, let's see, W6, W4, and I can't remember what the last one is. I think it's W1. I think I went all the way down to W1 for that one. It could be even W2, I think would be fine. And so I just kind of outlined with the darkest color the ears and around the body and a little bit around the face. I left his like nose jowl part uncolored. I'm going to color with a little bit lighter color. So I'm going to outline that with my darkest color, which is my W6. And then I will come in with the W4 and I'll just pull the color kind of out. And then the lightest color is going to be W1, which I'm going to be using to kind of go over everything, kind of blend it out. And then that way you get a little bit of this sort of highlighted look. Like, I'm not looking for something that's supposed to be natural in nature. I'm just looking for something that's going to look fun and pretty for my card. So for that piece that I left, I'm actually going to be using E43, E41, and E40. It's a very tiny little portion of the face. But I just wanted it slightly lighter. I mean, you could use, there's many different ones. The E50s are kind of light and would work really well. Also, if you're staying with the W's like I am, the E40s or the E50s have some light colors. And then it's all done. And I do use white gel pen, but I'll be doing that at the end because I like to have my ink dry a little bit. So now we're going to move on to these cute little girl and boy. I'm doing my hair. I start from dark to light. So I'm starting with my E29 and I do some flicks. Now this isn't super like natural hair. This is just kind of how I like to do my hair. And so I'm doing the darkest color, which is E29, and then I'll move to E27s, just go right over the ones and in between, and also pulling it out just a little bit further. And then I'll finish it off with my E23 for my hair. And then I'm okay if there's parts of it that are not colored in. But the E23 just really gives that kind of shadow type look. And so I just kind of flick in there. And I really like this look. This is kind of my method for doing hair a lot. And this is the color I like to use quite often for brown hair. Most of my girls are brown. I'll definitely move into reds and blondes sometimes, and sometimes I do black, but I like doing the brown hair. I've gotten pretty decent at it, so it's kind of what I go with. And then if I find that I've like blended out my hair too much, then I can just go back with my E29 if I need to and put some like darker streaks in there if I feel like it needs it. But this one's coming out very nicely. And for the boy hair, I'm doing a similar method, except I've given him a part. I've kind of decided that right there on that right side, if you're facing the image, next to kind of a little cowlick spot, I've decided to make that into a part. So then I'm doing my dark flicks on both sides of what I've decided is going to be a part, because otherwise the hair looks like a helmet. So I just figure that kind of works for me. Same method, I'm going back in and kind of going over what I just did with my slightly lighter color, which is my E27. And then I'll follow through with my E23. And then I'm using the same colors of red, which is E29, E27, and E24. So outlining it in the E29. I'm using that for the heart and the girl's dress and her shoes. Then I go in with my E27, pull the color a little bit more in, and then I finish off with the E24. For the shoes, because it's such a small spot, I just did the E29 and the the R29 and the R24. And that kind of works for me. Then you could do pleats here, which I have not mastered yet. But it's such a small image. The colors do work, and you kind of see how I'm doing her dress. And so then I go in with the other colors. For the bow, I'm doing my favorite pinks, which is R85, R83, and R81. So I do flicks out of that bow, and then the second color, which is the R83, I also do flicks, and then I kind of blend it out with the R81. I'm also using these colors for the shirt. So for the shirt, because it's stripes, I did half the stripes in my R colors, which in this case, I just did the first two colors. I think I just did R85 and R83 because it's such a small spot. And then the stripes for the purple is V17, which is the darker color, and then blend it out with the V25, which is slightly lighter color. And for the pants, I did N7, N5, and N3. I was very gentle with the N7 because it's a dark color, so I did just slightly on the cuffs and just slightly around the pants, but not too much. I didn't do it, I think, on the bottom of the pants really, because I didn't want it to like make the cuffs just look huge. So I went back on the top of the, or the bottom of the pants where the cuffs are, and that's where I put my N5, and then I blended it all out with the N3. It's a very small portion of pants, so you kind of don't need a lot there. And then I just use, I think W4 maybe, for the shoes, And then when I moved on to the face, because, you know, the face is, you know, the skin is very, you know, it's kind of cartoon, but it's very cute. I use my favorite combination, which is E13, E11, and E00. Occasionally I will pull in another color, but usually those are the three I really like to do. So I kind of outline in the E13, and then on the body I finished with the E11, but on the face I just pulled the E13, kind of blended it out and kind of pulled that color to the middle, and then I blended it out and finished it off with the E00. And I know lots of people do tons of things with the colors of the skin. I kind of like to spend more time on the hair than I do on the skin. Occasionally I will do darker skin. I usually pull in like E04 for that. If I want to do darker skin. And I tend to not do lighter skin. This is kind of the light skin that I do. And so pulling it in, and then the cheeks, I just colored that in with the R81. If there wasn't little like dots for the skin, for the cheeks, I probably would use like R20 along the jawline and just kind of flick the color in. But once I've got them down and done, then I go in and I use a little bit of white gel pen. So I'm starting with my cute little pug in a mug, and just did a little bit on the hearts and a little bit on my little puppy. It's very subtle, but it definitely makes the color pop. Excuse me. For the girl and the boy, the girl I did her bow, a little bit on her dress, and the boy I did a little bit on the heart, a little bit on his clothes and on his pants. Very subtle. Now it's time to make some cards. Both of my cards have the same layout, they're just kind of reversed. So this is a 4.5 by 5.5 by 4 1/4 card. So I just cut my piece of paper at 5 1/4, and then you know, I had scraps. So you just want your scrap pieces to measure 4 1/4. So I think the top's like 3 inches and the bottom is 2 1/4, and then I just kind of place them on top of each other like this with my glue. And then I'm using this Love from Lindsay strips just right across that seam there. And then the hearts, these are little doily hearts I've had in my stash forever. I sprayed them with some picked raspberry distress spray, and I think I've got some white spray that I sprayed as well. And I just kind of let it dry, and I'm just gluing a little bit on there, and then the little pug is on foam, and it goes right there in the middle. And then I've got my Thinking of You sentiment, which also comes from that stamp set. And then my second card has the same exact layout, except I believe it's reversed. So I've got the red hearts on the bottom, and then the glitter part on top. And I did also do the Love from Lindsay little strip there across that seam, and I bought those when they were having free shipping. So I think I had to buy 20 packs, and then you got free shipping, so it was worth it because I think they ship from the UK. And then I have that same little heart doily, which is going to go in the middle, and then I've got my little people on foam. make sure that you hop along and visit everyone who is in this hop. You should get lots of great ideas. And the thing about, I think, Valentine's Day, as long as it doesn't say Valentine's, you could use, you know, these images all year round. They are not specific just for Valentine's. They just have that Valentine's feel. And